Alright, Shalom.
Shalom.
I want to start off souls by giving no praise to Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Hashem,
Hashem,
Yahushai, Hashem,
Hashem,
Rakah, double honors to the apostles of GMS, and honors to you brothers doing the work and truth, war, sincerity. Yeah, we just threw on something on Netflix, man. Liquid Science with that geezer GZA or Jizza from the Wu-Tang Clan. He's trying to be a scientist right now. You know, it ain't vibing. Well, you know, he went from doing basic instruction before leaving Earth, talking about scriptures, you know, talking about Esau, you know, and all of that, to, you know, 50 million years ago. You know, all of the science that Esau pushes out, right? You know, his whole, basically, what you call it, all of the false science, the science falsely so called that Esau pushes out. Right, but you know, you watch it, and one of the things they go into is the fact that, you know, quote unquote, the earth is heating up, yada 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 yada, right, and how would you call it, man may have to move underground. If you could get me Psalm 49:11 first of all,
Alright.
sure. If you got space with hands.
Yeah, 49:11.
Yeah.
Right. This is Psalm chapter 49, verse 11. Their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations. They call their lands after their own names.
Right, so the scripture says their inward thought is that their houses should continue forever. Could you also get me Matthew 24:22? If you can, because you're right, because so they're going into all of these like, oh, you know, we need to imagine a world where we have to live underground, blah 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 blah, because they think that this place is going to carry on forever. But you read the scripture book for sure.
Right, this is Matthew chapter 24, verse 22. And except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened.
Right, so it's going into the fact that this man Esau will kill everyone around him, man. So here it is, they're imagining a future where we might have to go underground, but that already is the death of the world.
Yeah.
Right, for you to actually have to change your entire habitat because the one that the Lord has designed and created for you, right, it is ruined, right? Then you got issues. Then the next thing they're going into is robotic bees, right? And it's just like, why you going to go and do that for? Right? Because the Lord has already created a bee, and the bee is very fucking good at the job it does. Right? So instead of undoing the damage that you're doing, and then like allowing the bees to be able to pollinate, to do what they're doing naturally, Esau just says, fuck it, we'll create robotic bees.
Yeah, I got a precept. This is Psalm chapter 64, verse 5. They encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares privily. They say, who shall see them? They search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search. Both the inward thought of every one of them and the heart is deep.
Yes, they read that last verse again.
They search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search.
Yeah, then that's the research that Esau does. I mean, they were saying how they're researching into making these robotic bees, researching hurricanes, and you know, you see these test centers that these guys are going. These test centers cost some money.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and I was just gonna say, if I could say, Esau's pumping all this money. Like when we were watching this show, it's called Liquid Science, right? With the first episode, they were basically trying to recreate, you know, insects robotically so that they can, in the future, so-called, you know, pollinate instead of the bees, because the bees are becoming wiped out, they're becoming extinct, right? And you know, me and the brother were reasoning, so they're basically trying to be like the Most High, man.
Yeah.
But the Most High's already got a perfect creation.
Exactly.
Okay, so you're creating these insects that can, you know, maybe one day have the technology to pollinate these flowers. But okay, can they make honey? Okay, have they got a system within themselves where they can find out, because bees can, you know, we were watching one documentary where it was saying that the bees have a way within their traveling system that they can find basically the most the quickest route,
the most efficient
route to get to the flower, man, to get to the pollen.
Yeah, and get back home and all of that.
That's it. So the Lord has already created, you know, a receptor system, a system for these bees to all they maneuver and do what they got to do on the earth. And the scriptures really talk about bees.
Right.
You know, I think, or is it an ant? Let me just find it.
Right, because you also, and it speaks about the ant. Learn the way of the ant, thou sluggard.
Okay, yeah, can't. Yeah.
And what else? You talked about the honey, but the honey has healing properties.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. Depending on the kind of flowers as well.
Exactly.
Because, like, for example, you got Manuka honey.
Yeah.
Which is quite sought after for its healing properties. Yeah. And that's because it's from the Manuka plant, man.
Yeah.
You know.
And you got Scottish wildflower honey, which which is good as well.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so you could get all of that. So let's say you've got topical, you know your skin's burned.
Yeah.
And I believe brothers have done it where they've had like skin injuries. They put that honey on it and it got healed.
Yeah.
But so then what happens then? But that's the thing. Esau doesn't want you going to the herbs for healing. Esau wants you going to him for healing.
Yeah.
Right. Instead of just putting some Manuka honey or whatever, Esau wants you performing skin grafts and all of that shit.
Yeah. They're doing all this research, all this, they've got all this so-called knowledge. But they're not using it for any form of righteousness. It's not in balance. Because why? Because they ain't the Most High. Okay, it's the infinite wisdom of the Most High that that this is happening, man. All this creation, but they're trying to destroy it.
Yeah. It would be much cheaper instead of researching and trying to create robotic bees to just not kill the bees in the first place.
Yeah. I got a precept.
Yeah.
This is Isaiah chapter 14, verse 13. For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High.
Yeah,
right?
Hey, you gonna go into
go on.
Yeah, hey, now that's Esau. I got my most holding, my favorite Ezekiel 28. One of my favorites is Ezekiel 28. Going into the nature of this man, right? Esau is basically look. I'm gonna go into space like the elder brother. Malcolm Elder Rakar speaking on the fact that here it is, Esau's trying to go into space, but people can't even eat right here. Right, you've got McDonald's all over the place, KFC, right, these great chicken spots. People overeating, right? On one half of the world, you've got people that are obese. On the other half of the world, you've got people that are malnourished.
Yeah.
Does that even make sense?
No.
Yeah, man's trying to go to space.
It's out of balance.
Out of balance.
And the Lord don't deal with things that are out of balance, man. I'll just keep reading what the brother's getting there. It says, because the point in 17, it says, yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit. Which basically means, hey man, Obadiah man, we're gonna get rid of you, man. Okay? You're gonna feel that death coming for you, man. Okay, you're gonna be completely wiped away because we don't need you. We don't need you, man.
Yeah.
Okay. Once you've served your judgment and you served your hardcore slavery, and we got it out of our system. Beat the shit out of you basically in the kingdom. Talking about Esau, Edomites, the so-called white man. Okay, after all that, man, then we're gonna get rid of you because we don't need you, man. It says, they that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms? And how did he do that? Sorry. How did he do that? He dropped the atomic bombs, for example, his nuclear weaponry that has been, that knowledge was given to him from the Most High. All knowledge comes from the Most High.
Yeah.
Right?
Could you read that again?
They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble?
You can't, and we, once you get in this truth, that's something you start doing as well. Right? You'll be seeing this guy and how this guy, you might be at the job, you see, or you'll be in areas where Edomites reside. Right? For instance, here in London, one of the real posh places for Edomites, like Kensington and Chelsea. So you'll be going through those areas, right? Park Lane, Mayfair. You're going through those areas, seeing those Edomites so stiff. You're like, is this the guy who runs the world? You see how they, their homosexual antics, right? You're like, man, this is the man, right? You see how they'll get as soon as they see Jake, right? Just walking around being manly, all stiffing up. You're like, man, this is the guy who had us in slavery.
Yeah, that's how we're gonna look at you in the kingdom. That's how everyone's gonna look at you.
That's how everyone, right?
We're already looking at you like that.
Exactly.
We're already looking at you sideways, you devil.
Yeah, but in the kingdom, it's sort of like everyone's just gonna click out of the spell. Like, oh shit! Wait, what? What you mean?
Oh, it was a base man.
Yeah.
It says that made the world as a wilderness.
And hey, you see that all over the world, man. Esau's going around dropping atomic material everywhere, right? And then that's like destroying what you call the waters. It's giving people cancer.
Yeah.
Or you go over there to Chernobyl where you had that
Chernobyl disaster.
yeah, the disaster.
Yeah, the Fukushima nuclear power plant. You know?
Right, all of those places are uninhabitable, man.
Yeah, and the Fukushima disaster, that nuclear disaster, hey, that started funneling into the Pacific Ocean, and all the oceans are connected. So now all the oceans are getting messed up. We were watching a show, and the guy in the show was talking about how the coral reefs are getting destroyed, man, and that like a third of all fish life, sea life, basically depend on that coral reef, man.
Yeah, because hey, the Lord has created the perfect cycle. Right, the Lord. Hey, let me get this real quick, Brother Kashan. We can carry on with that. Right, this is Sirach 39 and 33. It says, "All the works of the Lord are good, and He will give every needful thing in due season." Right, so the Lord has basically created everything, and everything is good as it was. Right, but then Esau's come around, and then he's messed it up, and then now things that were good are no longer good. Right. But then the Lord, that's why the Lord is going to have to take Esau out so that things can go back into their rightful estate, right? So, for instance, you got the whole world is linked by cycles. You got the water cycle, for instance, right? And then you've got what you call the food chain. When you have what you call the coral reefs that are damaged, then the fish that feed off of the things that grow on the coral, their numbers decline. Then you may end up getting a pest that gets too big, right? And that's the thing, because everything's about predators and prey, right? For instance, you may have too many too many mice running around, so then you might use a snake to get rid of the mice. Then you might have too many snakes, so then you use a pig. Like that's one of the things they do over there in some of the ranches in America where they got rattlesnake problems. They'll use pigs to basically battle the rattlesnakes, because pigs are so toxic that rattlesnake poison doesn't do anything to them, right? So all of these things is all finely balanced, and that's the way the Lord designed it. Right? You read Genesis, it says, and they saw it was good, and they saw it was good, and they saw it was good. Everything was good, but then this devil comes along. The scriptures talk about how he's the border of wickedness, right? And he's just going around destroying everything, man.
Okay, but we're going to destroy him.
Yeah.
I got a quick scripture. This is done on Isaiah. This is Revelation chapter 11 verse 18. "And the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come, and the time of the dead, that they should be judged, and that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants, the prophets, and to the saints," talking about the Israelites, but specifically the prophets, referring there, talking about it, because the elect of Israel is going to be the ones that are going to receive salvation on this side, and through the elect, the whole nation of Israel is going to come back in the reincarnation. This is unto thy servants the prophets, and to the saints, and them that fear thy name, as the elect, small and great, and shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth. So, hey, the Lord is going to basically come here to lay the smackdown on these guys, man. Okay, because they're destroying the earth right now. Now, the scriptures do say that the earth abideth forever. So they're not going to be able to, crack the tectonic plates and, crack it like the earth like an egg and destroy it. No.
Well, hey, if I can say, that's because the Lord has already built in a system. For instance, right, so we was watching a nature documentary, David Attenborough, right? I don't know whether it was Planet Earth 1 or 2, but one of the things they was going into is how there's an ant in one of those rainforests, which is like the top predator, right? And nothing, right, can kill this ant. Nothing can kill this ant. So the Lord basically created a bacteria that basically kills the ant from the inside.
Oh, it kills itself, right?
Yeah. And basically kills itself, and that's like Esau. Esau's that top level predator at the moment. Right? What's the Lord done? He's basically made it such that Esau is going to kill himself. Right? He's given him the understanding of the nuclear weaponry and all of that. He's made his heart proud. Right? And those two things, mixed in together, right, is going to lead into that World War III. Right? It's going to lead into America being completely destroyed. Right, and then from then it's going to lead in to what was talking about the pride. The pride of the elites is that they'll survive the World War III. So they'll be in their bunkers, they'll be underground, they'll be in the ISS, International Space Station, right?
Good precept.
Hey, bring it up.
This is Amos chapter 9 verse 2. though they dig into hell.
Yeah, so one of the things they were looking into in this documentary, and we said that when I was watching it, right, because these guys, the guy was like, I'm a ex-NASA engineer or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Right, and he's thinking that he's designing these systems for the greater population. No, he's designing it for the elites.
Yeah.
Like what they were trying to do is basically channel sunlight into an underground cave. Right, and he basically saying what the phrase he said is basically making sunlight into a liquid, and then we can then move that around, etc. And then we can now light underground places, and even such that they started growing food underground, like pineapples, etc.
Yeah.
Right, and then these guys think that they're doing it for the greater good of humanity. No, it's for the elites. Because what does the scripture say?
It says, though they dig into hell,
Yeah.
then shall mine hand take them.
Yeah.
Because they can't hide from the angels. It says, though they climb up to heaven, thence will I bring them down.
Yeah.
Because you got the International Space Station, like he says. Some of them, you got Richard Branson, trying to make it like a commercial thing where, I think Virgin something, where
Virgin Galactic,
where people are gonna go up into the the atmosphere and come back.
That's like 8 years overdue for. I believe. Don't quote me on this. I believe the first flight was supposed to be back in 2010.
Right.
And then you've got all of those billionaires that bought 100 grand tickets or whatever, just waiting. They're like, alright, cool,
But they're gonna do that because the scriptures say it. They're gonna go up into heaven, and but the Lord's gonna take them out of that, man.
Yeah. But if I can say, that's why there's no point selling out to Esau, because all of these things are promised to us anyway. Well, we read about the chariots of the Lord. Right, we read about the new bodies, which were the spiritual bodies that we're gonna have, man. So here it is. Esau can't, he can't even get past the Van Allen belt. But what does it say in John? Yahushua said, in my Father's house are many mansions. I'll go and prepare a place for you. So we're gonna be doing all of that space travel.
Yep.
So here it is. You sold out. You got a couple billion, right? And then you're thinking, I'm going to buy a ticket on a Virgin Galactic. But the Lord already promised that to you, man. Then, as in that's the Israelites. Before anyone misinterprets what I said.
No, I've got a precept. This is Jeremiah chapter 31, verse 35. Thus saith the Lord, which giveth the sun for a light by day, and the ordinances of the moon and of the stars for a light by night, which divideth the sea when the waves thereof roar. The Lord of hosts is his name. If those ordinances depart from before me, saith the Lord, then the seed of Israel also shall cease from being a nation before me forever.
So that's what Esau's trying to do, man. That's why he's, that's why he's making the Hubble telescope and, all of these and that, measuring, space measuring devices, which links back to Psalm 64 about how these guys perform the diligent search, man. But they spend billions, right, researching space, man. Right, each of those missions up to the ISS costs millions, man.
Yep.
Right, they then they got the telescopes that they built all over the world. Right, and these ain't no small puny telescopes. These are big, massive, multi-million pound telescopes, man.
They've got satellites out there in the heavens with telescopes on.
Exactly. But how did the Lord mock them?
Yeah. Because
each time they look back, they found out it's expanding, man. They found out everything's expanding, pursuant to what the scripture said about I'll go and prepare a place for you. Right? They found out that the heavens expand. So Esau's trying to measure everything to, get the, fulfill these precepts. Right? So like, oh shit, it's what? We can get the birthright. Man.
Yeah, because they're reading this, Yeah,
all we got to do, right? We just got to measure the heavens, measure the depths of the sea. And then how else did the Lord mock them?
Yeah,
because you can't even go down to the depths of the sea like that, man.
Yeah, the Lord's mocking them, man.
Yeah.
It says, thus saith the Lord, if heaven above can be measured, and the foundations of the earth searched out beneath, I will also cast off all the seed of Israel for all that they have done, saith the Lord.
So he's reading on that. Oh shit, yeah. Oh man, yeah. That's how we get it. That's how we get the birthright back.
Yeah.
What you don't understand is it was never meant for you anyway.
Yeah. Well, the Lord is not the author of confusion.
Yeah.
Throughout the scriptures, salvation has always been for Israel.
Exactly.
So where suddenly the Lord's going to decide. The Lord is, first of all, the Lord is not a man that he should lie.
Yeah.
And the Lord also, Malachi 3:6, he changes not.
Yeah.
Therefore, you sons of Jacob will not consume, man.
Yeah.
the Lord is mocking them, man.
Yeah.
Because these things are basically impossible for him to do.
Exactly.
For him to be able to do them in the first place, that knowledge has to be given to him. But that knowledge is not for him.
Exactly.
That knowledge is for the Israelites, man.
Exactly. Hey, in Isaiah 55:11, my word shall not return unto me void. If the Lord said something, it's going to happen. So what did Obadiah say, man?
Oh yeah, well let's read that.
Obadiah said, hey.
Let's get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's read that. This is Obadiah chapter 1, verse
18.
God, there's a lot in this still.
Okay.
Alright, I'll read it in. And the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph for flame, and the house of Esau for stubble.
Right, so it based the nation of Israel is going to be that flame, and Esau is going to be what is getting burnt up, man.
Yep. And they shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for the Lord hath spoken it.
Yeah, yeah. So the Lord is the one that said that there won't be any remaining of the house of Esau.
That's right.
Right? So here it is. You hey, try measure space. Try measure the depths of the sea. It ain't going to help you.
Yeah, that's right. And what they were bringing, I was saying earlier, they were trying to measure like how hurricanes were working, right? And the conclusion that they came to after all this research is how to better efficiently escape the hurricane.
Yeah.
But hold on a second. I was like, you're trying to be like the Most High, right? But the Most High brings the hurricanes. Even what Yahweh Shai, he rebuked the winds.
Yeah.
And the disciples were marveling like, oh, what manner of man is this that can even the winds obey him? So the infinite wisdom of how to control, create, and manipulate the winds and the hurricane is from the Most High. But you ain't on the level. You're trying to escape, and that's all you're trying to do. You're trying to go underground, trying to escape up into heaven. All you're trying to do is escape, because that's the MO, man, of the so-called white man, man. He's a fugitive on the earth, man.
Vagabond.
He's escaped from. He tries to escape from his identity, which is Esau. Tries to escape from judgment, which he's not going to be able to escape because it's in prophecy.
Yeah.
You know, and that's why the elites, man, when they watch the prophets, man. Okay, and they're afraid, man. They're afraid, man. That's why they're trying everything they can. But you know what? The Lord is actually giving them pride, man. We're giving them a stiff neck, harden their hearts as the Pharaoh. Let me say it like that. You know.
Yeah.
But hey, pride was not made for man. And what does it say? The scriptures say, pride goeth before a fall, man.
That's right.
And that fall is coming soon, man. You're not going to be able to. Oh, you know what? Let me get that in Job 20. Just remembered. You're not going to do your enterprise, man. This is sorry, just something.
Yeah, I'll get it. I have to.
Okay, this is Job chapter 20. Verse 22. In the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. Every hand of the wicked shall come upon him. When he is about to fill his belly, Yahweh Shai shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him, and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. So just when he thinks he's about to do it, and he's about to complete this new world agenda, this, you know, all this madness, this wickedness, the Lord ain't gonna have that, man. The Lord is gonna save his people, and he's gonna destroy the wicked, man. Okay, and he's gonna have the wicked in their rightful place, man. The heathen in their rightful place, which is under the Israelites, man, in servitude. You know.
Right. It's Ezekiel 28 from the top. It says, the word of Yahweh came again unto me, saying, Son of man, say unto the prince of Tyrus, thus saith the Lord power, right? Because thine heart is lifted up, right? So we got to understand, scriptures are twofold. Sometimes we'll speak about a certain man, but in modern day times can be applied to another man. In this case, right, it's talking about these Edomites, Esau. Right? What is the proof of that? This line here, because thine heart is lifted up. Right? Who's more proud than Esau? Like we're saying, he's actually being the Most High. He's trying to do. He said, "Hey, you was born a man. It's okay. I can change that." Right? You know, hey, the Lord made man and woman. It's okay. I'll make something else. Right? Talking about, hey, like we said at the beginning, the Lord said He made everything and it was good, and Esau's trying his best to corrupt that, man.
Yeah.
Right? But when the law comes out, all that corruption is going to be overturned. Everything's going to be clean, man.
That's what it's telling us. So it's telling I'll be like the Most High.
Exactly.
But you can't be, man. That's the Ancient of Days.
Exactly.
All wisdom comes from Yahweh
Exactly.
man.
Exactly. Right? It says, and now I said, I am a God. Right? I sit in the seat of God, and in the midst of the seas. right? But then it goes on to say, yet thou art a man and not God, though thou set thine heart as the heart of God. Right? And like we mentioned a few things throughout the course of this sit down in instances of how Esau carries himself and thinks that he is a God, but he's not a God.
Yeah,
right.
The Lord said he ain't have no other gods beside him, man. Yeah. Okay. He's the ancient of days. He's the ancient of days, man. Look, he's outside of time, outside of all that.
Yeah.
All that wisdom was given from what? From Yahweh, the Most High.
Yeah.
To Yahweh Shai to go and create everything with the angels, man.
Even you, Esau.
That's right.
Right? Go on and say, behold, thou art wiser than Daniel. And like we're saying, a lot of these things that Esau's been able to do is a infinite wisdom, man. Right? He is wiser than Daniel. Daniel didn't know how to create an atomic bomb. Daniel didn't know how to make a man into a woman. Daniel didn't know how to put a penis on a woman, man, or turn a penis into a vagina. And
Daniel wasn't trying to do that.
You're right, Daniel weren't trying to do that. And when you look into it, how Esau's actually got turning a penis into a vagina into a sweet science, man, up until the point where I was reading into it, and it was basically saying that these fake boxes can get wet as well, because of the way man cuts. Cuts the penis, like sort of like how you're about to deal with a woman, right? You start basically getting some pre-cum. He's basically replumbed that, so that same technology that Lord has created in your urethra, right, is then able to make it look like that fake vagina is getting wet. It goes as far as to say, this article I was reading, that not even a doctor will be able to tell. Only a gynecologist who's actually flickering in around will be able to tell. Right, and that's where we are. So it said, behold, thou art wiser than Daniel. There is no secret they can hide from thee. With thy wisdom and with thine understanding thou hast gotten thee riches, and hast gotten gold and silver and stature. Some of that wisdom and understanding, right, is the understanding of how to create these weapons, which ultimately goes back to his blessing, which is the sword. Right, and in that he's been able to bully all the nations and then put his doctrine into those nations. Right? It says, therefore thus saith the Lord power, because thou set thine heart as the heart of God. Behold, therefore will I bring strangers upon thee, the terrible of the nations, and they shall draw their swords against the beauty of thy wisdom, and they shall defile thy brightness. And yeah, you're going to have all these heathen nations coming together fighting against America, man. Even America's allies. You're reading some of the articles that are coming out now because of the stuff that DJ Trump has been doing, right? You're like, right, okay, so America's allies ain't down for them like they used to be. From time you're having America's allies straight saying, some of the things they're saying these days, you can tell that the animosity has come, right? It goes on to say, they shall bring thee down to the pit, and thou shalt die the deaths of them that are slain in the midst of the seas. Right? And then here's the Lord mocking, right? It says, wilt thou yet say before him that slayeth thee, I am God? Right? But thou shalt be a man and no God in the hand of him that slayeth thee. Right? Thou shalt die the deaths of the uncircumcised by the hands of strangers, for I have spoken it, saith the Lord power.
Right. I've got a scripture. We've bang out before, but it's just got to be after what you brought out. It's got to be read again. This is Matthew chapter 24, verse 22. And except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. So if the Lord weren't going to shorten his time right now for the elect's sake, Esau would just end up destroying everything, man. Yeah.
Hey, one of the things we just remember Apostle Ricard saying a long time ago. Hey man, I like those old kids, man, because they're a woman. What's Esau doing now? Esau's trying to put artificial wombs into men. Yeah. Now you got men giving birth. Right? It's wickedness, man.
Okay.
But yeah, man, hey, yours will be edified. Give all praise to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushua, double honors to the apostles of GMS.
Double honors.
And honors you brothers doing the work in truth or sincerity. Shalom.
Shalom.